love my theme song. This is, I don't know if you know the late Sparrow, the poet.
No.
Okay. I don't know. This is one of his last recordings.
Oh, okay. Let's do.
Hello and welcome, Detroit, to this week's session of Beauty in the D, where we focus on power, wealth, and style. I have to give a few quick shout outs to Giovanni McCall, also known as G, the short hair slayer who keeps me slayed, and to Mina Martinez, who handles all of my media marketing, and last but not least, the London consulting firm who sponsors and powers this show. So every week I bring the best guests, and of course I'm not going to disappoint you this week at all. So I want to make sure that you know that you are watching Beauty in the D. We are live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and other social media platforms. So please follow, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And more importantly, thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. So I have with me here today Miss Erica Smith Gomez, and I'm just going to start with reading her bio. I read bios every week, but this bio was really one that stands out of all the ones that I've read thus far, and I like because it reads like a story. So I'm going to go ahead and read the bio, and then we'll get her fully introduced. This is her bio. I'm just a girl from the south side of 8 Mile Road that many people fear to venture to, but that very same hood gave birth to some of the most original talent known to the world. Motown had no choice but to flow through my veins, but the Mo, in my case, is in motion picture. An undeniable passion for film resonated in my bones, and the need to see stories with people that looked like me excited me even more. I was born in 1979 and raised on the east side of Detroit, and I attended Cass Tech High School for 3 years. In 1997, I enlisted into the U.S. Air Force straight out of high school. While based in Abilene, Texas, in 1998, I had my oldest son, Sean Van Hosen. Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Sean Van Hosen.
Okay. Having my son changed my outlook on the military, and in 1999, I was discharged and came back to Detroit. I enrolled in community college, and shortly after, I began writing children's stories. I submitted to different publishers, but only received rejection letters. So I took a break from writing, and in 2007, I got married. I welcomed my second son, D'Angelo, in 2008, and 2 years later, I found myself writing again. But I decided to venture into screenwriting. As I was educating myself and honing my screenwriting skills, I then gave birth to my daughter, Helena, in 2014. I submitted film query letters to different production companies around the country, but unfortunately, no one was interested. I again took a break from writing, and at the same time, my mother fell ill and needed a liver transplant. I focused my attention and time on her and became her caregiver. In 2018, she received a successful liver transplant, and I was finally able to have some solace during her recovery. My peace would come to an abrupt end in early 2019 when my oldest son, Sean, was killed. My life spiraled out of control, and I found myself in a dark place for a while. Eventually, I will pull myself together to launch Sean Van Productions and Sean Van Entertainment in honor of my loving son. After facing so many adversities, I decided to give myself an opportunity since others wouldn't. I promised myself that I would master my genre for any age or race and prove that Detroit has a variety of different stories to tell. Since then, I've written concepts that range from drama to fantasy, teen comedies to science fiction and animation. I have won 9 first place screenplay awards at different film festivals across the United States of America, and several finalists and semi-finalist awards. Currently, I have 2 films, actually it's 3 though, right? 3 films on Tubi and 2 upcoming projects that will be streaming soon. I also have 3 children's books on Amazon and 3 more that I'm currently having illustrated as we speak. Lastly, I go by Erica Smith Gomez, and I am continuously working to build a plethora of screenplays and children's books with a variety of unique and fresh concepts. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Erica Smith Gomez. Welcome to Beauty and the D.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. You have such, like I said, your bio. It's a story, girl. Like, that's a movie, right? That's a screenplay right there.
Thank you.
Yes. So before we get right into the movies and Tubi, because you know Tubi is hot, and we in Detroit, we support Tubi and we love Tubi, and I feel like the Detroit movies be some of the realest, the best. I feel like I can just resonate with the lingo, you know, of course the backgrounds and the scenery, you know, and we feel like we can be a part of the movie. But I want to start right with the Air Force.
Okay. So
What made you go to the Air Force in the first place?
I guess I kind of was over school, so I was like, I want to do something different. Instead of going to college, I'm like, I want to do something different. And so I went into the Air Force.
They have the coolest uniforms, though.
They do, and they are the think tank. So,
Yes.
I was like, okay, they're the think tank. They're the last of the last to go to war. So, yeah, that was the best part.
Because when they come, they shutting it down.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. So, what hood you from?
I'm from the east side of Detroit, so I started on Promenade off of Hayes and Auto Drive.
Okay.
And then my mom and my stepdad, they bought a house over off Meringue and Cashew on Dupre.
Okay.
And so
I know that area very well.
yeah, so that's my hood. Like,
That's real Detroit, too.
yeah.
And those houses over in that particular area, the architecture on those houses, I mean, it's just so different. Those are some nice brick homes over there. So you're a real Detroiter.
I am. Yeah.
Period. So, in the Air Force, how did it change? You're coming from the East Side, Cass Tech, too.
I know.
What was it like? I mean, just the training.
Man, the training, like, when I got to basic training, it was something else. Like, it was a mind game. So at first I was losing that mind game, but then once I realized
That it was a game?
mind game, yeah. So I successfully completed that, and I went to tech school in Mississippi.
Okay.
And they based me in Abilene, Texas, and I started working with the flight crew. So I worked to make sure that they had all their training and they were qualified to fly.
Wow.
So
that's a big job.
It is. Like, they threw me right in there with the officers. So.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that was an experience. Were you in ROTC or anything before
No.
that? No. So I'm just trying to see,
No, I went
Okay.
like with nothing. So my drill sergeant picked on me every day. Like, what do you call me? A big dummy. I was the big dummy of the flight. Yeah. It's funny now.
Okay,
Back
but it
then
was not funny.
No.
Because I can imagine you are young and cute and fresh from Detroit. You got your little Detroit swag, I'm sure. You packed it with you. And they are picking on you.
Yeah, I got picked on.
Okay.
I was the dummy.
Well, did you get leadership training? Like,
I
what
did.
did you? Okay.
Like, I learned a lot.
And discipline.
Yeah, a lot of discipline, paying attention to detail, integrity, a lot. Yeah, and respecting
things.
Leadership. Yeah,
Because integrity is important.
it's very important.
I live by that. If you don't have no integrity, you don't have
Nothing.
I need to be able to know that I can turn my back and trust you, know that you're still going to do the same thing if I was
Looking at
not have my back
Yes,
turned. Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. So then you probably had the gift of writing for a long time.
Yeah, I think it lay dormant inside of me
What brought it out?
because first of all, people were like, what? When I went to the military, I was pregnant. Didn't know. Like, I got pregnant, I know it's crazy, the night of, that had to be when it happened.
That was your goodbye.
That was my goodbye. And that was supposed to be my goodbye with my boyfriend. Like, that was it. I was going and starting my new life. And, yeah, so I was
so much
pregnant.
for goodbye.
Yeah, exactly.
It was more like, hello.
Hello. So I had my son, and I realized, like, they wanted to, like, send me to Afghanistan. And, so I'm like, I can't just leave my son with anybody. 'Cause my mom wasn't there. She had my younger siblings, so it was nothing I could do. So I got out. And when I came back, I enrolled in college, what I said I didn't want to do. And I took a course, and she had us write children's stories, and I wrote mine, and she had us read. She was like, wait, but you wrote that? I'm like, yeah, I wrote. She was like, that is great. So from that point on, like, I always wrote poetry, but from that point on,
I was going to get to that.
Yeah, I've always written poetry.
I could tell. Because even... I consider myself a poet as well. Even with your bio, it had like a poetic flow.
Okay.
Like, just even with the first line. I'm just a girl from the south side of 8 Mile. That many people, you know what I mean? It has a flow to it. I mean, it just stuck out to me. It really did. I can tell you tell good stories. So you always had the ability to write poetry, but that was just like a hobby, something you just picked up and, you know, but when you had to do this assignment, that really honed in on, hey, I can write a story, not just a few lines. Okay.
Exactly.
So, you started writing and you felt like you had a talent and then people were rejecting you.
Yes.
How did that make you feel?
I felt defeated because I wasn't really used to it because I never really put myself out there. So I kind of like shut down. I kept writing, but then I stopped submitting. I just stopped that altogether. And then I just kind of walked away from writing. But I knew, like, when I started writing the stories, I'm like, I want to write a movie. Because I love movies. That was my family time with my family. Like, we would, like, my stepdad, we would go to the video place.
Back when we had Blockbusters.
Yeah. We would go there, like, every Friday. He would rent, like, 6 movies, and then he would dub it with 2 VCRs.
Yeah.
So we had, like, all these movies. So I've seen so many movies. And so I was like, I want to write a movie. But I didn't know how to write a movie, so I didn't really pursue it.
I remember those days. I kind of miss those days too. The line at Blockbuster used to be long, and you'd be standing there, and you'd be like, "Oh, we gotta get the movies back. We gotta get them to the Dropbox. Oh, you gotta rewind it. They'll charge you."
Yeah.
The good old days. So you love movies, and you continue to keep writing, even though they were rejecting you. So that talks about perseverance. I'm sure you picked up some of that along the way in the Air Force.
Yes.
Not giving up.
Yes.
Yeah. The big dummy.
Yeah,
like,
dummy.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna write my way out of this.
Exactly.
So, I'm sorry to hear about your son being murdered. Did it happen in Detroit?
Well, he was hit. He was hit by a car. So, and it happened in Warren. I can't even go over there. But it happened on 9 Mile and Van Dyke in Warren in 2019, January 13, 2019.
Okay.
He was 20. Yeah.
A baby.
Yeah.
And do you think that some of your healing comes in the form of writing? Is that therapeutic for you?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. So then Mother's Day is probably hard for you tomorrow, I'm sure.
I don't really
even want to celebrate.
You know, even though I'm thankful for my mom that she's still here, you know. So I'm thankful for that, but yeah.
And then you still got your 2 other children.
I do. Yeah.
So you got to be, you know,
you are
thankful. Yeah, and thankful for that. I'm sure this is all a healing journey. But you named your production company after him. So that you memorializing him, does that give you some type of strength?
It does.
And energy to push on?
It does. Like, he motivates me. And that's what keeps me going. Yeah.
So the fact that you can do different genres, you know, a lot of people, they stick to one style of, like, if you write gangster stories or gangster movies, you kind of, it's a part 1 and a part 2, and you know, you are so different. So I'm gonna talk about the movie that I watched from beginning to end, Contract Killer. Okay, y'all, I'm not gonna spoil the movie, but it's suspenseful, it's a thriller, and the ending had me all messed up. Girl, what was you on when you was writing that? Was you on some of this wine that we drinking right here? Cause
actually, no. Like, I had that concept. I probably thought about that concept probably back in like 2014. But I never really acted on it until I linked up with this who was my ex-partner now, but I linked up with him. He was like, why don't you write something and you direct it? I'm like, I can't direct, you know. But he convinced me, and so I'm like, okay. So I was like, I do have a concept. And I already have like 7 screenplays that were completed, but I'm like, I want to do something that's kind of what they're doing on Tubi. So that's why I went ahead and wrote that. And yeah, I just came up with that. And
let me just tell you, that was a hell of a movie.
Thank you.
Yes. How long did it take you to write that?
Literally, because I was working, I think, where was I working at? I think I was working at the hospital, at St. John. So at St. John on Ross. And so I was writing.
You love that East Side, don't you?
I know. I know, right? Yeah, East Side is in my bones. But it took me maybe 7 days, and that's not...
A week?
Yeah, it probably took me a week, but not really a week, because, you know, I would do like maybe 5 hours here, 4 hours, you know, like out, you know.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So that friend. Casting. How did you find the people to? And I saw that was one of that's on Homestead. Is it Homestead Entertainment? Right.
Homestead, yeah.
Dennis Reed. And when I hear that, don't,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
Dennis Reed.
yeah, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a good one. I don't know how he does it, but it's like, whatever. When I know that when I'm watching that and I hear that tone come on, I know it's gonna be a banger. You know what I mean? How did you come up with the casting, and how did you hook up with Dennis Reed?
So, believe it or not, nobody wanted to work with me. Like, nobody.
Straight up.
Yeah, no.
They just didn't know.
Yeah, because I didn't have a name. I wrote the invite, and I was like the AD on that, and I helped out on that, but nobody really knew who I was. So I asked Marietta and Giovanna, because they both were in the invite, if they would be in Contract Healer, and they read the script and they loved it. And so I'm so thankful that they believed in me. And then my ex-partner, he knew Will Coleman. So he reached out to Will Coleman. Will Coleman liked the script. So that's how I got them, and then everybody else kind of just fell into place.
Wow. So they read it. They didn't reject it. They was like, oh, that's what's up. We want to do it. Okay. So, I got to do our station ID. Hey, you're watching Beauty and the D, where we focus on power, wealth, and style. We're live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and other social media platforms. Please follow, share, comment, like, and subscribe. And thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. We have with us today Erica Smith Gomez, and we're just sitting here talking about her accomplishments in the motion, in the cinematography avenue. And so you got these guys to come on with Contract Healer. They read the script. They was like, it's bomb. It's a bomb movie. Listen, go on Tubi and watch it. I'm telling you, you're not gonna believe the ending, but I will say that best friend. Can't trust these. You know what they say. So they, you did, basically they read it and were like, okay, we want to do it. And then the casting of the other people, you said, it just kind of fell
in place. Yes, I kind of got a few people to, reply and to audition. So that worked.
So when you say reply, how did you?
I reached out I had to email, he had a list of all these actors that had applied before, so I just went through, hey, I got this script that I'm about to start filming. I need a cast for certain parts. So a lot of people reached out to me from that. Okay. But me just posting, I'm having a casting call. Yeah, nobody really.
Wow, so that's how that works in Detroit.
That's how it worked for me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how it worked for me. And then Will put me in touch with Dennis Reed, because he knew Dennis Reed. And I talked to Dennis, and then later down the line, he saw my trailer, and it was premiered.
Awesome. Detroit, so I like how you put that down, the Mo, right? We were known for Motown, but now we really are getting known for motion pictures. We're really playing in that space. And how I know, I see people from different places, especially in Atlanta, commenting on our Detroit movies. Like, other people like them. Like, to us, we probably feel like, because we can resonate with it, especially like I was saying before, like the language, lingo. We have our own kind of style in the way we talk to one another, just certain things that we say from Detroit that we know, like, first of all, what up, dog? I'm out here, we know our, other people are like, I'm out here. Okay, yes, I'm out here too. No, I'm out here, like, I'm getting it.
Yeah, we all have our own.
Yeah, but we got something special here. So I'm proud of you and all of the Detroiters out here that's just putting us on the map with these movies. So how long did it take to film Contract Healer?
So the DP, which was my partner, he had a full-time job. I quit my job to pursue this. I know.
Okay, hold on. Easy. Let's toast to that, because I am a serial entrepreneur myself. Yeah. And that takes a lot
it's still a lot.
To not have a job.
Yeah.
So that means I don't know about you, but I start every day with a blank sheet of paper. And it's the goal to have it filled up by the end of the day. To the point where I have run off into the next day. You just have to, it's a different grind when you out here for yourself versus clocking in every day.
It is.
You know.
Very different.
What were you doing at St. John? Is that where the job that you quit? I'm assuming. Is that the job that you quit?
Yeah, that's the job that I quit. I was in where you get the supplies, but supply chain. So
Okay.
I was in supply chain, and so when the nurses and staff needed anything, we had to fill these orders and take it to them, deliver it to them.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't the friendliest people. Like, it was, they would belittle you. It was
more belittling than the Air Force.
Yes,
Because the Air Force was playing games.
Yeah, they
These
played
people was
mind
just
games.
being straight up nasty.
Yeah. And you think like you're supposed to have a great bedside manner, but you're treating
Yes, imagine these patients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't easy. Me being in the Air Force, everybody makes fun of me. I've had probably like 50 jobs. But I realized like it's not for me. That's why I was never happy, because I'm not a corporate America girl. That's not for me. I'm an artist, you know?
You're an artist.
And I was trying to fit myself into this box where I didn't belong. And no offense to anybody who's corporate America.
Oh, yeah. None at all.
It's just not me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like Erykah Badu. I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit.
Exactly. I'm
real.
Erykah Badu.
Yes. Okay, so going back. So your partner, he had a job. So you guys were having to do this basically.
On the weekends.
Oh, all of this was done on the weekend. And it was all shot in Detroit?
No, we were kind of like all over the place. Mostly in Detroit, Pontiac. We were like...
But Michigan.
Yeah, it was in Michigan. Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, but I really am excited. I want to know the answers to all this stuff. How do you guys choose, like, the location? Like, even the house where the main character was. I'm not going to go all into it. How do you guys choose these scenes and these locations and then put it all together?
It's kind of like, we kind of do a lot of guerrilla shooting, and that's when you really don't have the budget, you know what I'm saying, or the means. So,
because this movie doesn't look like a low budget. I just want to say
thank you. It is. Really.
I mean, because you're saying that, but the quality of it was still very good in in the storyline.
Thank you. So we take what we can get. Now I've learned since that movie, like I do Airbnbs, but I really like to do houses where people actually live to make it feel more realistic. Yeah. But with Airbnbs, I reach out to them like, hey, I'm filming a movie. Is it okay for me to use your place? You know, blah, blah, blah. And I'll say, yeah. Or they'll say,
they're receptive.
Most of them are like, sure, you know. So that's what we do. And then since I write it, I wish I had what Hollywood has. They write it according to, they know what the setup looks like.
Yeah.
You know, we don't. Okay. So that's what makes this even more challenging, because you don't really know what you're walking into once you start filming that day, because 9 times out of 10 you don't have access to it yet.
So when you do the Airbnbs, you have no idea what
you're just looking at the pictures, and then
you just fake it till you make it.
Exactly.
You are an East Side chick.
Exactly. So.
Yep. Okay, so how many weekends did it take to do that?
So we started, I want to say May 14th of 2022. And we finished July something 2022. So it took us about 2 months, a little over 2 months to do it.
Wow, you are so creative.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's talk about this other movie. It's Survivor of a Ghostwriter.
I know, everybody says it's Survival as a Ghostwriter.
Oh, I'm sorry, Survival as a Ghostwriter.
Everybody says,
okay.
Maybe I should have made it Survival of a Ghostwriter. Everybody thinks it's Survival of a Ghostwriter.
So I like that too. Now that is like 360 from Contract Killer, okay? This one is like a teen movie, and it's a lot of rap battle back and forth, a lot of rivalry battle back and forth. Who wrote them rhymes? Oh, and it had a little bit of a love story in there as well. That was cute.
I'm a John Hughes fan, so
okay.
Yeah. So I didn't write those. The original scripts that were winning, I wrote. Okay. I wrote like cipher type raps. I had to actually get 2 battle rappers. They actually got the gritty stuff in there. Michigan and Devious. Those 2 battle rappers wrote the battle raps.
They did. Okay, they wrote girl. The one guy had me wanting to fight.
Dan, you talking about the
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I was like, okay.
He was something else.
He was.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got some other artists, and what pieces did you write in there?
Well, I did like most of my raps. They just didn't go. So So the only thing that I kind of wrote was the love poem. Like I wrote the love.
Okay.
Sam, which was the main character, he played Javon. He's a dope artist. He wrote that. He tweaked what I wrote and he added on to it.
Okay.
And then the guy that played Trent Paris, he wrote like the final rap, most of that final rap at the end when they came in and tagged me.
Yeah.
So they both kind of did that, but overall, Michigan and Devious wrote basically everything.
That's what's up. And I don't know who did the outro song. But that was hot.
The
that
first
was
one,
banging on the way out. The outro. Yes.
That's Michigan.
Oh, yeah. He is. You dope, Michigan. Okay.
He's from Pontiac.
Okay. Yes. I was like, oh, I can see. I meant to put it on my Shazam so I could put it in my playlist.
My mama even liked that song.
Yeah, it's dope. Yeah, it is. Like, for real. Okay, so, you're all, like I said in the beginning, you're all over the place. A lot of people do one or the other, and you're able to do it all. That says a lot. When is your birthday?
February 12th. I'm an Aquarius.
Oh, okay. You was almost a Pisces.
You must be a Pisces.
I am. But yeah, very, very, very creative. So the books that you have right now on, before we even get to the books, talk to our audience and tell them how they can find you on your social media and what's popping on on Tubi right now. Okay, so you can find me on Instagram, Sean, so SEAN, Van, VAN, _productions at Instagram, and Sean Van _ entertainment at Instagram. And then you can find me on Facebook, Erica Smith. I think it's Erica S. Smith on Facebook. I have The Invite, that was the first movie, The Invite, Contract Healer, and Survival as a Ghostwriter. Those are all on Tubi right now. I also have a short, it's a dark comedy called Black Don't Crack. That's on Discovered TV right now. Discovery TV? Yeah, Discovered TV. Discovered TV. So it's the app that Microsoft and BET own. I've never even heard of it today. A friend told me about it, and so I just threw my short film on there. Yeah. So that's on there. And then I have a record in time that I'm filming right now. Hopefully we'll be wrapped June 13th, and y'all should be able to see that probably in the summer. It's a TV series, the first 3 episodes. A TV series? Yeah, it's sci-fi fantasy. It's about a record player that takes you back in time. It's time travel. So it's like Back to the Future meets Butterfly Effect. Oh, wow. Yeah. I can't wait. Are you going to have a red carpet? I am, and I'm going to invite you. Please do, because I will be there. Thank you. Thank you. And my books, is that what Yeah, okay, so let's get to the books. So the books, what are the titles of the books and how can people purchase them? Okay, so they're on Amazon. They're available in Kindle and paperback, and 2 of them are based off of my son that passed away. So one is called Only Boys Can Play With My Toys, because he was a little chauvinist. He just, I don't know, he thought boys were better than girls. Okay. So a lot of them do. Yeah. Only Boys Can Play With My Toys. And then Life is a Taco, but Eternity is a Feast. And that's about my son transitioning and my stepdad, because my stepdad died 3 years ago. And he came to me in a dream right after he died, my stepdad. And he, I was telling him I was sorry, that he was gone, and he was like, it's okay. And I thought about it, I knew my son was gone. And I was like, did you see Sean? This is real quick. And he was like, he peeped in. I was like, is he okay? He was like, Sean's life was a taco, but where he's at, he's feasting now. So I'm like, what? I didn't understand it. So I looked to my sister, because she was in a dream. She was like, Sean's life was short. It was small like a taco, but where he's at, he's feasting now. Yeah, and I was like, oh. And so I looked at my stepdad. I was like, thank you. And he was like, he smiled and he was gone. And I woke up, sat straight up, and I was crying. And I wrote that book real quick. Wow. Yeah, so it's for families and more so young kids who lose a sibling or a parent, to help them with grieving. So. Kids need that. I never even thought about that. Grieving for children is so much different than because us as adults. My daughter was small, so I think she was like 3 or something when my son passed away. I can't remember. He was like 16 years older than her, because she's only 10 now. But what age? I know. Yeah. But look at God, how he yeah. So you still, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm sure that the baby, your daughter, gave you that strength. I know it was hard. Yeah. I can't say I know because I haven't been there, but I am a mom, and I just know I would be devastated. And I only have one.
Yeah.
You
and
know.
that's when because I had to go to therapy. That's what my therapist told me. A lot of her people who only have one child, that was their identity. So once they lose that one, it's really hard for them. Being that I had 2 other children, I didn't lose my identity because I'm still their mom.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and they still needed you. And
That's why I'm still here, because of them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't know where I would have ended up. But the 2 books are about him, and then the other one is part of a series, and it's called Sleepy Town. I think that one is Amusement World, and that's it's based on my 2 younger kids. How I used to have this little ritual to get them to go to sleep. Like I used to have to build a fort and all this stuff for them to go to sleep.
Aww.
So, yeah.
So, what do they feel about mommy as an artist? Do you see any of them following in your footsteps, or maybe even acting in any of the movies?
Actually, my daughter was in Contract Killer. She was the main star when she was little, when she was painting. That was my daughter. That was my daughter.
I had no idea.
Yeah, and then my son was in, so I was a ghostwriter. He was Gamer. He was one of the battle rappers.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my son.
Okay.
Yeah. So they do, and he does a lot of editing. He makes a lot of videos. They both do, actually. My daughter wants to
gonna turn this into a family business.
Yeah.
A legacy.
This is our brand. Yeah.
Your brand, your legacy named after your oldest son.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You better shout that out.
I know.
I hope you're inspiring somebody right now.
I hope so. It's not easy, but don't give up. Whatever it is you want to do, don't give up.
Yeah, because they kept telling you no, and look at you. So how are you promoting your books?
So, just like on social media, like I don't really have the budget right now, but I say eventually I'm gonna have a budget where I can promote everything that I want to promote. But right now I'm a starving artist.
Absolutely. No, I get it. So I had, I don't know if you've heard of her before, but Tiana Meyer, she was on here last week. She's an author.
Okay.
I'm going to give you her, when we get off the show, her PR's information. And that person is what helped her, because apparently, obviously, marketing books is a little difficult. So she has a PR person that she worked with, and not only did she help her promote the book, but it got her on different platforms to talk about the book.
Yeah.
And I think, with your subject topic, especially with children who've dealt with the loss of a loved one or just grieving, I think that's a you need to be on a platform with that, period. Even, look, here, I'm about to throw out some ideas. Even here with some of the local schools, I think that's maybe a conversation that you should have with even some of the charter schools. Hey, I got this book. Because people are dying all the time.
Yeah.
Losing parents. And in our society, peers. I don't know. The idea just came up. Yeah.
That's something I would love to go to schools and read to kids. And so, yeah.
And talk to them about, that book.
That's what I want to teach, actually. I went to school to be a K through 12 teacher, but
did you know?
I realize I don't want to do that. But I do want to teach children.
Hats off to those who do.
I do. That's what I want to do. Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. So you went to school to be a teacher. Who taught you how to screenwrite?
Me. I started in 2010. And you know how it was popular, how to do dummy or how to do...
the such and such books for dummies, feng shui for dummies, all of that,
Screenwriting for dummies. So I bought a book. I started reading all these different screenplays that I could get access to that was from Hollywood. And I got final draft, and I just took it from there.
Are you serious? So you are very serious about your craft.
Yeah.
And you honed in on it to the point where you taught yourself. Did you do any extra classes?
Eventually, I want to say in 2016, I went to New York and I took this intensive course in Manhattan. But everything he taught me that he was teaching us, I already knew. So I was like, well, I did something right, so it just reinforced it.
Got you. And so to those who are watching, you are watching Beauty in the D, where we focus on power, wealth, and style. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. So please follow, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. And we have with us today Miss Erica Smith Gomez. And we are talking about motion pictures in the D, cinematography. And screenplays and writing books. She does it all. Do you see yourself acting in any of your movies?
So I was in Survival as a ghostwriter. I was Miss Hill. I was the teacher that supposedly was sleeping with the students.
Yeah, they was like, yeah, she wear the move something dress. And I was like, that had to be somebody older who wrote that piece right there. Move something dress. Yeah. No, she not.
Yeah, but no, I kind of could see myself being like Alfred Hitchcock, how he did a cameo and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. But no, I commend actors and actresses who really have that gift and that range. I can't do it. I don't think I was blessed with that.
Because that's a lot too, to write it and then direct it and then be in it too.
It's too much.
And then tell other people where to stand and how to. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot.
It is. That's not really my passion, not being an actress.
Okay. But your kids like it.
They love it.
There it is.
Mm-hmm, they love it.
There it is. Okay, so you taught yourself this craft. What about the books? That's different from, is it different from writing a
It's very different because, believe it or not, I tried to, like one of my animated scripts, I tried to write it into a novel, and I probably could have, but it's just too much into writing. I tried to write 2 novels, and I still haven't finished. That's just not
Okay, you got to explain the difference to me, because I keep saying I want to write a book, but I don't know how, like.
It's a lot of visuals that has to go, like you have to be able to visually.
With the screenplay or the book?
No, the book.
Oh, with the book.
You have to visually tell this story to keep them, and so they can see it like it's playing out in the movie in their head. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot that goes into writing a novel. Not saying that I can't do it, but it's just not my thing. But with a screenplay, you write what the audience can see and hear. You don't want to overdo it because it's not a novel. So it's more basic than a novel. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
But the only thing is with that, dialogue. Your dialogue can make or break you. So if your dialogue is not realistic, and that's why I try to listen to people. Like, I've had so many conversations in my scripts that I just overheard somebody saying. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm constantly listening to dialogue, people talking.
Right.
Because you could get in there and start writing, knocking the script out with this dialogue, and then the actors start reading it, and they're like, oh, that don't sound right.
Especially when you're talking about something based out of Detroit.
Yeah, like, oh, that don't sound right. That sounds forced.
Right.
Don't nobody talk like that, so I have to, you gotta be
because I do see movies on Tubi like that. That's not Detroit movies, I'm going to say that. But, you be like, this, okay.
Yeah, like people don't talk like this.
Sound like no gangster.
Yeah, people don't talk like this. So you have to be, when it comes to dialogue, it's not easy to write dialogue.
I imagine. Because you writing, but I don't know, because I'm not a writer person. Like I said, I just wrote a few poems. Mm-hmm. So in terms of dialogue, in my mind, I'm thinking it's the same. And because like in the book, and you're telling a story, right? Mm-hmm. You got to write the characters in the story, right? Yeah. And then on the screenplay, you write it, but you like,
but it's different.
What she said, and then Ronald said, and then.
Because, like, okay, so when you're writing that dialogue in a novel, the person is reading it. So you could read my script, and the dialogue could be perfectly fine to you. But once those people actually get to saying that dialogue, sometimes it doesn't work. It doesn't sound right. Reading it is okay, but when they actually say it, you're like, wait a minute, ain't nobody gonna say that. Mm-hmm. Or that's just too much. Mm-hmm. And then it's how they deliver it as well. Like, you have to put some beats in there. People don't just ramble off all these words. So that matters too.
The right pause.
Yeah, the right pause, the
inflection.
Yeah, like, everything has to be right.
And so you direct all of that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's not easy.
Girl, so you got like 1,000 people up in here.
Yeah, like I was laughing because I was watching something and the lady was a writer and she was writing and the characters was like standing in front of her. Even in American Fiction, how he was writing. Have you seen that? Mm-mm. Great movie. He was writing and the characters were standing in front of him talking and you like, no, that don't sound right. So he'll erase it so they go back. So that's how it actually plays out in my head. Like my characters are like right in front of me talking and moving and yeah.
And then, okay, so I'm going to go even deeper. So the characters are in your head. And you did the casting. Who decides what they're going to wear?
So.
Like the outfits and stuff. Because, Girl Sharp, even best friend, too.
Well, when you have a limited budget, you kind of like give them kind of free range. You tell them, they know, they kind of they understand their character. And you approve it. But on my series that I'm working on now, Record in Time, like I dressed most of them in Survival as a Ghostwriter. I dressed them. Like,
Okay.
I went and bought their wardrobe and everything. But
Because it was given 90s.
Yeah, like I was trying to make them have different colors, and my creative director Dom helped me with that. But with A Record in Time, we have Roger, who specializes in fashion, and she knows the script in and out. She knows the characters, so she visualizes what they wear. So we flash back to like the 50s, the 90s, the 80s, the 70s.
Oh, because you're going through time.
Yeah, we're going through time, so we have to recreate these eras
to be authentic.
So we provide the wardrobe for them because we want them to have a certain look to make it more authentic. But as far as the current day, they bring in their wardrobe, but we have to approve it and say, hey, okay, this is what we're looking for. But she does all of that. She has the eye for that.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's usually somebody that does wardrobe.
That you have, okay. And they obviously read the script and they get
She knows the script in and out. She knows the characters. So
okay.
She knows exactly what my vision is.
Right. So she's like right there with you. Only she didn't write it. But as far as the creativeness.
Yeah. That's not the only thing she does. Like, it's only 3 of us on my team. And we have so many hats that we wear.
I bet.
Yeah.
So how we get to a series?
So I wrote this back in 2000, I want to say 17 for NBC Universal. So I was trying to win a contest. Didn't win it.
What was the NBC Universal?
It was like they wanted you to write an episode of a TV series on their list. So I wrote an episode for Black Mirror. I don't know if you watch Black Mirror, but on Black Mirror, nothing goes right on there. Like, I love that series. Like, it never ends right.
What does it come on? I've never heard of Black Mirror.
I want to say it's on Netflix? I can't remember where Black Mirror is, but I've seen it.
And so you saw this contest idea.
Yeah, I saw this contest, and I chose Black Mirror because I was familiar with Black Mirror. So I wrote an episode, A Record in Time, for Black Mirror. So that's why it's like it goes wrong all the time. Like, yeah, so I sat on that for years, and then I thought about, like, I want to turn it into a series.
Yeah.
And so I turned it into a series. I wrote 8 episodes, and and I want to do a season 2. Like, I've already started thinking about
forward thinking. So thank you, Black Mirror, for rejecting Erica, okay? Because it's the birth of Record in Time, which now we have a whole series.
Yeah.
And so it's a whole series about traveling back in time. I'm intrigued. I'm into it already.
Yeah, it's about I have to say, it's about repressed memories that people don't even know they have. So, you know how music, you can listen to it and it'll take you back?
Yeah.
So this record player is designed that way. So it only works for people who have repressed memories, though. So the woman who first winds up with it, she has no clue because she bought a Detroit house. She fixing it up, and it was just so happened to be there. And she turned it on, and it opened up for her, and it took her back to when she was like 7 years old. And she found some things out that she didn't even know. All this time she had been hating her mom, and she realized what really happened back then.
Oh, girl, this sounds deep.
Yeah, so it just, once you go back and change it, the record player's gone. So it goes to different people. So, yeah.
Oh, I love it. I hope
I'm not giving too much away. But
no, you gave enough to make me intrigued, to make me say, I'm going to be wild. And we're going to be able to catch it on Discovery.
No, that's going to be on Tubi.
I'm sorry, on Tubi. A series on Tubi.
Yeah, series on Tubi.
So, did you use Homestead again or someone else?
No, I actually used Man Robinson.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Man? He's from Detroit. He's in Atlanta right now.
Okay.
He moved to Atlanta, his studio and all of that. So he's been really supportive and helping me out.
That's
awesome.
So
I'm going through Man Robinson for a record in time. Yeah.
So, but are all the scenes shot in Detroit or some in Atlanta?
No, everything is shot here in Michigan. I want to say we're all over, just like with Contract Hillary.
Okay. And let me stop saying Detroit. Michigan.
Yeah, it's all over Michigan.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's what's up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because it's my place.
Yes, it is. So let's talk about financing and how are actors paid? How are you paid? How is...
So, with that...
lighting and the directors, and I'm sure it's a lot that goes into all of this.
It is. So, with Contract Hillary, we pieced together, me and my partner, we pieced together money. I've already been up front, like, I'm still paying people. And then I had to pay a lot of people on the back end. So, that's what that looked like. And he was a cinematographer, the editor, he wore a lot of hats. So, that saved us. And then I'm the director, the writer, as well as the producer. So... technically, I didn't really get paid. You know, it was my sweat equity. So if I was a ghostwriter, we had investors who believed in us, and they came up and put money up for it. So we had to pay. Still, he did what he do. I did what I do, and we paid our actors up front, and that's how that worked. And the crew, they're going to get paid. You know, we had to do contracts.
Yeah.
Record in Time is similar because my investors still believe in me. They put into that. I have a different DP now, so I have to pay all of my crew and my cast up front. So that's how that's working. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's basically.
But you're making it do what it do, and starving artist.
Yeah.
Just for now, it won't be for long.
Yeah, I'm praying it won't be for long. Because I wrote a Contract Healer. It's actually Contract Healer Breach of Trust. So that's the sequel that I'm yeah, so, yeah.
Breach of Trust.
Breach of Trust.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thank you.
Erica, you're so strong. You're so creative.
Thank
oh my
you.
goodness. So if people want to, like how you have investors that believe in you, and so they're help funding, what if there are actors or actresses that want to work with you? How can they contact you?
They could actually, they could reach out to me on Instagram. I'll give them my email address and they can submit like their bios, their headshots. And what I do is I compile like this folder with all of the aspiring actors and actresses, and we'll reach out to them. Like when we have parts come up or things like that. So I always have an open door for anybody that's aspiring to be actor or actress.
Now, how do you actually get the movie on Tubi?
So with Contract Healer, I went to Dennis Reed. So Dennis Reed was my distributor, and he put Contract Healer, you know, he did all of that, and he got Contract Healer on Tubi.
Okay.
With Survive Was a Ghostwriter, it's the same thing. Survive Was a Ghostwriter and A Record in Time. That, with Man Robinson, I went through Survive Was a Ghostwriter with him. He did the same thing that Dennis Reed does. But with Man Robinson, if you're like making a movie and you're stuck, so I was kind of stuck with Survive Was a Ghostwriter. I couldn't finish my post, which was the editing, and yeah, that's a whole nother story. They stepped in and they helped me get it to where it needed to be, and then they distributed it. So he offers that. So any filmmakers watching this, if you have a film that is, I think, at least 70% done and you just can't get it finished, you can reach out to him and he will help you and he will get it on Tubi.
Wow.
Or whatever. He has like so many platforms that he can go through. So like the CW, I think Netflix. It's a ton of platforms he has, not just Tubi.
So, and then the Discovery that you said is owned by BET and who else?
Microsoft. Yeah, so a friend told me about it. It's called Discover TV. It's kind of like YouTube, but not really. You can put like all kinds of stuff on there and it's monetized, and you know, so it's kind of like YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I chose to put my short film, because it's kind of hard to put short films on platforms. So I just figured I'll put it on there.
Okay.
And yeah.
Anyway, this time go by so fast.
I know, isn't it?
Yes, we got like 2 minutes left. Really, one. To anybody who is an aspiring screenwriter or film writer, what advice do you have to them? Oh my God, I can't believe it went by this fast.
No, and I'm sorry, I probably talk too much.
No, I ask a lot of questions, but okay.
Hone your craft. Read a lot of scripts. Get feedback. Don't give up. Have tough skin, because people will tell you. They told me my characters sucked, my dialogue sucked, my location sucked. Like, they told me my plot sucked, but I kept going. That just gave me tougher skin to keep writing and get better. Because I did suck in the beginning. I had to keep going. You know what I'm saying? So no, don't give up.
To any authors, what tips do you have to any authors? Because do you think that the overall goal for some authors, overall authors is to have a movie?
I think it may be like turning your book into a script. I think so. Because even with my little children's books, I want to have like little animated series with children. Yeah, so I think so. And I guess if you have a great story, yeah, you can turn that into a script. Okay. That's basically what they do in Hollywood.
Do you think somebody should write every day to get their craft, or like what do you suggest that somebody writes or tap into to help them get on that?
So what I do is I have several scripts. I rotate. So I can I never have writer's block, but I get to a point I'm like, what do I want to do? I go to the next script. And I just keep rotating. So yes, write every day. Think your concept out completely. Think about your characters. Think about all of that, but write every day to exercise and to get your, that's why I can write a script in 24 hours. So
Girl,
Yeah, like-
with people talking and everything.
Yeah, like I block my kids out. Like they already know. Oh, she writing. Just get away from me.
Okay.
But yeah, do it
okay.
every day, every single.
Well, I
day.
can't wait to see what's next. Can you please tell our audience in Detroit what's next for Erica Smith Gomez?
So currently, Record in Time, the sequel to Contract Healer, but I have so many other scripts that I've written and that I plan on
And are you
doing.
filming something right now?
Yeah, Record in Time. That's what
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
filming
this is-
now.
okay.
But I'm supposed to be filming in June as well, so we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one last time, please give your contact information out so that people can contact you and reach you.
Okay, you can reach me at Sean, SEAN, Van, VAN _ Productions on Instagram. You can also reach me at Sean Van _ Entertainment on Instagram. And then my Facebook is Erica S. Smith.
Thank you so much for being here, Erica. I appreciate you and your time and stopping by. Please let me know about the red carpet because I'm showing up and I'm showing out. And to Detroit, thank you so much for tuning in and watching another great, powerful episode of Beauty and the D, where we focus on power, wealth, and style every Saturday on the coolest station in the world, WJZZ Cool TV, from 1 to 2. Thank you, and we love you, Detroit.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for coming on. Oh my goodness. I just love what you're doing.
Detroit, you gave me joy. You gave me joy. Detroit, you gave me joy. I remember the feeling you made me feel. Those hot summer days swimming in the